Hi, I'm Carlotta A. I'm the visiting scientist at the Children's Museum of Indianapolis. I'm an engineering professor, a robotics engineer, a researcher, an author, and a STEM communicator. And here today, I'm here to tell you about robots and how to build one. Come along, and I hope you enjoy. So first of all, what is a robot? Simply put, a robot is a machine. It is a machine that can do some things with human intervention, which means semi-autonomous, some things totally by itself, which means autonomous, and some stuff with the help of a human, which is remote control. It has sensors, which are like its eyes, that it uses to look around and see things, like with sonar, infrared, or a touch sensor. It has a plan in order to make a plan for what it senses and what it should do with that. Then it acts on the world, like driving around, picking things up, vacuuming the carpet, shelving the stock at the store, giving you popcorn at the movie theater, anything like that. Then it has a goal or a task. That's the thing that you want your robot to do. So remember, a robot is simply a machine. So the way that our robot is able to do things is we write code or a program to allow it to sense with the sensors, think about what it saw with the sensor, and then act on the world. So a robot's control is sense, think, and act. Let's see an example. All right, here's LilyBot doing obstacle avoidance with the microbit. Now we know it uses sonar, which is distance sensor, so obviously there's a little bit of specular reflection based upon which obstacle it sees. This is also a great keep away game to play with kids, where we're trying to see who keeps the robot going the longest before it crashes into something. I just lost the keep away game. So now let's talk about the parts of the robot. We've already talked about the sensors that are used to look at the world around us so we can think about what we saw and make a decision about what to do. But in order to think, you need a brain. The brain in our robot could be a microbit, a Circuit Playground Express, an Arduino Uno, a Raspberry Pi Pico W, or many, many other things. Then you also are going to have effectors. Those are the things that are going to affect the robot's world. That's like grippers or wheels or flippers or propellers. And then you're going to have an actuator. That's the thing that makes the effector move. That could be a vacuum, that could be a motor, it could be a lot of things like that. And then of course our robot has to have a body. The robot's body is based upon what does the robot have to do. If it has to vacuum your carpet, it might be a little disc on the floor. If it has to fly overhead to take pictures of houses, it might be a little drone with 4 propellers. The robot's body is based upon what the robot does. I make flower bots, which are robots for kids and adults to learn about science, technology, engineering, and math. My robot looks a little bit like a circle, but it has a lot of stuff in it. Let's take a look at how we build my flower bot. The LilyBot, our baby, will be what we look at today. So here are some examples of what my robot looks like from top to bottom. At the very bottom, we have a battery pack. It could be a 9-volt battery pack. It could be a AA battery pack. We have a lower chassis that's a circle. We have an upper chassis that's a circle. We have standoffs that connect the upper and lower chassis together. We have 2 caster wheels at the bottom, 2 motors on the side, 2 wheels on the side attached to the DC motors. Then at the top, we have breadboards or proto boards, which are used to build our electronics. And then we put a module for whatever kind of brain controller we want on the robot. Now let's take a look at a video of one of my students putting a robot together.